Good evening. Alexander has asked me to do a talk tonight on health and well-being, so thank you, Alexander. My name's Mary Curtis, and I work in health and well-being. I'm a holistic therapist. Excuse me. So I thought what I would do is talk a little bit about how to keep healthy with the COVID at the moment. I'm a homeopath, amongst other things. So if any of you know about homeopathy, some of the remedies that can help if you do get COVID or a cough or a cold are ant tart, A-N-T, separate word, T-A-R-T, aconite. Many of you may have heard of aconite and arnica. They are very, very popular remedies. But aconite is a very, very good one when you're feeling really low, when you've got a cough, when you've got a cold. And there are many, many more that you can use. But antart and aconite are some of the best ones. There's another one called phosphoric acid. If you think of phosphorus in homeopathy, we dilute things very, very well, sometimes to the millions of dilutions. But if you think of phosphorus, it's rather like the fireworks where everything goes bang, you get this huge explosion and a huge explosion of energy. So phosphoric acid can give you a massive kind of input when you're feeling really flat, when, as you do, you get exhausted with a cough. So you can also use phosphorus. In homeopathy we have phosphoric acid and we also have phosphorus. Feel free if any of you want to ask me about homeopathy. There are many remedies for many, many different things. I have over 400 and I use the flower essences as well. So those are good ones to have, which most of them you can get online or certainly from a really good health shop. You can get homeopathy kits and they should have those remedies in them. You can usually get maybe 18 or 36 remedies in a kit. Probably cost you about 30 or 40 quid, but of course they'll keep for years. It's like a first aid kit. And homeopathy, you can take them every 10 minutes if you're feeling really rubbish, and as your energy starts to lift and your symptoms start to alleviate, you don't need to take them as frequently. So one of the big things with COVID is your immune system. So here, just where a pendant would lie between the throat and the heart, is your thymus gland. And if you tap with your first two fingers, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, it doesn't matter. But your thymus gland, for those of you that are aware of the chakras, the thymus chakra is very powerful. It's between the heart and the throat. And obviously most of us communicate from the heart. So when we tap here, it eases communication, but actually on an immune system level, what it actually does is to release T cells into your body. So most of you will probably have heard of white blood cells or red blood cells. We also have what's called lymph. So lymph is the clear fluid in your blood. So sometimes if you cut yourself and there's no blood but you get the clear liquid, that's the lymph. And many of you might have heard of lymphatic cancer. So we have different lymph nodes in the body, and the lymph takes away the toxins. So lymph is very, very important. And the T cells are obviously in the lymph, the white blood cells are in the lymph. So if you're feeling really rubbish, if you just tap here, if you're frightened of COVID, even if you've not got it, I'm feeling frightened. I use emotional freedom technique as well. I'm a hypnotherapist, psychotherapist. It's a really good one to use, especially if you've got children that are being bullied. I'm feeling sad, because when we acknowledge within the body that something's not feeling quite right, when we tap into the body, when we tap and we alleviate that pressure from the stress that the body's kind of holding, think how stressed a child gets when they're stressed, when they're upset, when they're being bullied. Think of how stressed some people are with the COVID. They watch the news all the time and they're really upset, and Obviously, some people are very much at risk. I understand that. So the other thing you can do, I mean, vitamin D3 is an amazing vitamin, and vitamin C are very, very powerful for your immune system. Vitamin C has been known, and some oncologists actually use it as an intravenous drip with cancer patients, and it makes the body alkaline. So the blood is clear, the lymph will move between the blood cells rather than the blood cells clumping together. And vitamin C has been known to cure cancer. But vitamin C is essential for our health. Vitamin C is water soluble, so the body can't store it, whereas the fat soluble vitamins, vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin K, vitamin E, the body can actually store. One of the most healthy things you can eat is avocados. I love avocados mashed up on toast, maybe with a poached egg. So there's a lot you can do for yourself if you keep yourself healthy. Things like yoga, tai chi, positive mental attitudes, meditation. I've just been out for a walk in the trees. By keeping yourself healthy, social distancing, if it's relevant to you. So there are a lot you can do, but one of the most important things you can do is set an intention. Use positive mental attitude that you are fit and you are well. And I think if we all take that, the thoughts we put out there are what we get back, the boomerang effect. We can call it the law of attraction, the power of intention. But when we really, really take care of ourselves, take care of our mental health, take care of our physical health, eat healthy and drink healthy, and obviously exercise. I know many people have been doing the Joe Wicks workouts that are, absolutely superb. So for those of you that do yoga, that do Tai Chi, Qigong, you move in the Qi, you move in the energy of the body, which is fantastic. One of the other things you can do if you find yourself getting stressed, whether it's COVID or not, is just shake out. Just like a dog coming out of the water. Shake your arms, roll your shoulders, shake your legs, kick your legs out. Because what happens is, when we get stressed, the body holds the stress. So we call it cellular memory. If you want to look it up, cellular memory is very, very powerful. And as a child, when we get upset about things, think of a toddler throwing a wobbly, chucking a temper tantrum. They kick and they scream and, they're doing the screaming adapts. And as we get to adulthood, we just swallow it down. And as we swallow it down, the shoulders start to get hunched up, the shoulders, they get tight. And the body just learns to deal with that. And yet, I'm not saying that, we need to punch somebody or anything else if we're a bit cross. But especially being British, one of the British things is, oh darling, we're too British. We don't deal with that. Keep the British stiff upper lip. And honestly, as a therapist, the amount of clients I've recommended to get a punch bag in the garage, go to a boxing class, go to a martial arts class. We need to get that energy out of the body, because long term that can produce something, maybe quite serious. So there is the body-mind link. I don't know if many of you are aware of it. If we have a sore throat, what is it we're not communicating, or are we not allowed to speak our truth? And that's sometimes part of being British as well. Oh darling, we don't talk about that. Goodness me. So it's all about what we can do to help ourselves. Can we communicate our truth? And if you're with somebody who is maybe quite bolshy or very assertive, or, maybe makes you feel that you can't communicate, sometimes you can just simply lift that energy off. You don't have to do it in front of anybody. You can do it maybe in the bathroom. Do it, or even just visualize that you're just lifting that energy off. And as you lift it off, if you've ever got a sore throat or laryngitis, pharyngitis, that energy will help you to speak your truth more. If you're with somebody who you find very difficult to talk to, just visualize that person actually listening to you. Because very often when we look at law of attraction, you know, we've already kind of done the dress rehearsal. We've already visualized that they're going to be hard work with us. We've already visualized they're not going to listen to us. And of course, when we look at law of attraction, that's what we manifest. So be aware, and this goes for all of us, me included. We have 2 ears for listening and 1 mouth for talking, because we all need to listen twice as much as we speak. And if we all did that, we would all be heard and we would all listen better. So if you do kind of get any problems with your throat, keep your vitamin C levels up by all means. Things like spirulina are very good to get some oxygen into your blood, because once you get oxygen in your blood, you move in the lymph and you move in everything else, and your body can do a detox of that too. So the other thing you can do is find your passion. I always think about health, and of course we talk about nutrition, we talk about well-being, we talk about drinking healthy water and things like that. But if you're feeling a bit stressed, if you're feeling a bit low, just make sure you're drinking plenty of water, because your body will produce toxins from the stress. We naturally produce toxins anyway from metabolism, excretion and respiration. And I must admit, as a therapist, many of my clients don't drink enough water, and I'm talking depending where you are, you know, tap water may have many chemicals in it, so whether you get a Brita filter is up to you. You know, maybe do some research. Maybe you can find that you smell the chlorine in the water, which is, you know, quite toxic really, because it makes the water actually acidic. So the best way is to keep the body alkaline. One of the things you can do if you're feeling stressed is to have a salt bath. You can use Epsom salts, Himalayan rock salt, sea salt flakes. So you want about 3 or 4 tablespoons in the bath. And one of the best things you can do when you've had a bath, I don't know how long you want to stay in the bath, maybe 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever. Rather than toweling yourself dry afterwards, just wrap the towel around you and just lie on the bed, so that all of that positive energy just goes into the body, and you'll feel more relaxed. Many of you may have Himalayan rock salt lamps, either just to put a tea light candle in, or it may be a physical lamp where you put the electricity, you know, in the bulb, and you can use those. They will produce what's called negative ions, and the negative ions are very positive to keep your health and well-being up. I love Himalayan rock salt lamps. They just glow bright orange and they look absolutely beautiful. They have every mineral in that your body needs. One of the big minerals your body needs is magnesium, and if you're stressed, I would definitely recommend a magnesium supplement. If you're not sleeping, if you've got cramps, if you suffer with migraine, magnesium is a bit of a wonder drug, to say the least. I do take it every day, to be honest. There are many things you can do. Some of you may be aware of the little lamps that you can have in the lounge. They're like a kind of, some of them are like a little waterfall, so they just circulate water on a regular basis. And again, that's the negative ions that will help bring positivity to you. The other thing is get in nature, and if you can be by a waterfall, obviously safety in mind, you know, but if you can be by a waterfall, the sound of water is very therapeutic. There's so many recordings of water on YouTube now, so if the weather's really bad and you can't go out, or you're confined to the home, then just put some sound on, you know, sound of physical waves or sound of a waterfall. That will help you to feel better. Meditation is a wonderful enhancer for the mind, to quieten the mind. You know, some people think you have to sit there for 2 hours at a time, cross-legged, don't move, breathe properly, you know, hold your fingers, you know, like this, and you don't. just sit quietly in a comfortable place. If you've never meditated before, start slowly. Just do 2 or 3 minutes and just close your eyes, take your attention to your breath. One of the most powerful meditations is to put yourself in a purple light. Put yourself in a violet flame and visualize that you're in a violet flame, and all your worries, all your cares, just put them in the flame. You can have a separate flame for you and a separate flame for all your cares and all your worries as well. Some of you might be aware of crystals. Black obsidian is very good for converting negativity. Rose quartz is one of the cheapest and most versatile crystals. So, you can put rose quartz by the television to prevent the radiation. You can put rose quartz in your handbag if you want. I usually have a piece in the car, you carry it with you. It's kind of, I love rose quartz. It's kind of any time, any place, anywhere, a bit like the old Martini advert. Do be aware of artificial sweeteners. They are carcinogenic, many of them. So your natural sweeteners are much more helpful and conducive to the physical body for you. I would just take time out to look at your lifestyle. How many positive things do you do in a day? How many things float your boat? Are you surrounded by positive people? Sometimes it's very good to, take your attention and your awareness to how much power you're giving away. Maybe in the morning you start off and you're very aware and you're at 100% power. And then, it may be you put the news on and it's all depressing and all of a sudden you're at 50%. It may be that you work in the office and there's someone there who is just, let's say, a little bit challenging. And all of a sudden you've gone from 100% of your energy and your power to 25%. So if you're aware of situations that trigger you, that take your power away, then when you're aware of keeping your power, and there are many ways to do that. You can visualize you've got angel wings behind you and you can pull them around you. You can put yourself in the violet flame. You can put yourself in a bubble of white light. You can visualize a rainbow around you, because rainbows are very, very powerful because they bring in all the colors of the chakras. So when you take your attention to where you give your power away, and you know what your triggers are, obviously if you don't know you have a problem, you can't deal with it. If you do know you have a problem, then you can deal with it. It's very often worth thinking about your heart. You can physically draw the heart, cut it in half. I don't mean the anatomical heart, the heart that we would use maybe on a Valentine's Day card. Cut it in half and just be aware of how much energy you give away and how much energy you receive. And I know for me at one time many years ago, I used to give 90% of my energy away and I was absolutely terrible at receiving. So my kind of split would be 90% giving energy away and 10% receiving, which was quite an eye-opener, to be honest with you. So if people said to me, I'll make you a cup of tea, I would say, no, I'll make you a cup of tea. I'll make you a meal. No, I'll make you a meal. I was really resistant to being able to receive. If somebody gave me a compliment, I squirmed like a worm. So it's taken me a long time to bring personal responsibility and self-awareness into my life, and I can honestly say it's changed it for the better. I sleep healthy. I'm aware what time my body is actually telling me it's time to rest. I was speaking to a friend recently and she goes to bed at midnight and she's up at 7 o'clock. And, from usually kind of 8, 9 o'clock at night, she's quite capable of going to bed. But she doesn't, because she gets embroiled in watching something that's brain-numbingly boring on the TV. And it's really good to look at your routine. Are you sleeping enough? Are you sleeping well? What time do you wake up? So laughter is the best tonic of all. You know, what brings you passion? What makes you laugh? When did you last dance in the kitchen? When did you last smile at yourself? When did you last show yourself some self-love, self-appreciation, and so much more? When did you last read a wonderful poem or a good book? When did you last listen to music? When did you do some free dance? Maybe you like needlework, maybe you like sewing, maybe you write music, maybe you play the piano, maybe you love cooking. When we find what we really love doing, what makes us feel that warm glow all over, you know, that's what life is about. It's about following your passion, following your heart, being aware of who you really are under all the masks that many societies, I know not all societies of course, but many societies in the West kind of make us feel obliged to wear. And for me, many years ago, I didn't even know I was wearing goodness knows how many. So I hope that's inspired you in some way. If any of you have any questions, feel free to private message me. I am available on Facebook. My email is marycurtiscoaching@gmail.com. My website is marycurtishealer.com. You're very welcome to ask me any questions. Hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, homeopathy, life coaching. I'm a healer, I teach, I run workshops. And I'm a natural clairvoyant and psychic, so I'm very lucky that my intuition's there to help me. So I hope this has helped you all. Any inquiries, you're very, very welcome. And thank you for having me on board this evening. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you, Alex. Blessings to all of you, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening or a wonderful day or a wonderful morning wherever you are. Take care. Bye.